Welcome back to the channel. My name is Rich, and today we are going to pack away some toys. Get ready for the spooky season. Don't be fooled by this shirt. It is not St. Patrick's Day. It is July 20th today. It is a Monday, and I just got to get some of these toys, these action figures, wrestling, G.I. Joe, He-Man. I have toys all over this room, action figures all over this room. Need to get them put away, reboxed, and get ready for the spooky season, which is September 1st to October 31st on my channel. It eats at me not to do horror figures, so I am thinking perhaps, maybe not this year, but in the future, expanding my horror, my spooky season from August all the way to October 31st. Give me 3 months because, man, I have a lot of horror figures I need to open up. And that is honestly my passion, is horror movies, horror action figures, things like that. Don't get me wrong. I love G.I. Joe. I love He-Man. I love wrestling. But my real passion is horror. So I get really excited about it, especially about right now. My daughter's a big horror fan. She's already on her mom about decorating the house and our Halloween decorations. So she's even got me going. She's been putting on Halloween movies. I do even have a podcast. It's called Never Not Horror. You can check that out if you want. Me and my good friend Steve Clark, great author of a lot of books. Me and him have a podcast where we deep dive into a horror movie each episode. And we also started another one so we can do weekly. So bi-weekly is our deep dive into one particular movie. And then on the off week, we do kind of a top 10 or a top 13. We like doing 13 because we're both big fans of Friday 13th, but it could be anything. Right now we're kind of in the decade's favorite horror movies of each decade, starting at the 20 teens, then in 2000s, and now we're getting into the 90s. But yeah, a lot of fun doing that. But yeah, I just thought maybe you'd like to come along with me, pack some of this stuff away, and just chat action figures and whatever else we want to get into. But I guess I'll just start with some of these G.I. Joes here. Now, if you're new to the channel, if you've never seen, I keep all my packaging. So I kind of cut a trap door here. Now, I'm not in the double up club on most of my action figures. I just get one, and I keep the packaging, and I put it back when I'm done. So I'm not going to resell any of this. I keep it just because I love the packaging, and it's easier to keep track of his accessories and stuff. So I do have my WWE superstars. I am in the double up club, and I think that's the only one. Some of my Hulk Hogan's I do. Some of my WWE Mattel creations, I like getting 2 packs of each one of those. But yeah. So, yeah, new to the channel, big Hulk Hogan fan, Cleveland Browns fan, Ohio State fan, Miami Redhawks, Oxford, Ohio fan, and G.I. Joe, and you can probably see the rest. But passion is horror, books. I love books. I love audio books. I love actual books. And a little bit about myself right there. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and grab. First one I'm going to put away is going to be G.I. Joe G.I. Joe Retro Classified Scarlet right here. So I'll put some of these are all empty boxes right here. So, and a lot of empty boxes sitting right here. I got a tub right here full of empty boxes, and where all this stuff is going to pack away. But yeah, so Scarlet right here, and every one of these you can look up on the channel. I've unboxed it, reviewed it. No, I don't really give it a ranking. I've always thought about giving a ranking, or how do I give a ranking, or like a 1 through 5 or something, because I kind of just say I like it or I don't like it. But it would be nice to be able to rate everything and give it a rating. So I don't know. Maybe that's something to do. Would you guys like to see that? Let me know in the comments. All right, so here is Scarlet, our retro G.I. Joe classified Scarlet. Good action figure. The only complaint I have with G.I. Joe is they want to fall over. And these retros, they come with a stand, and they still want to fall over even on the stands. I usually come into my action figure room right here. I call it my toy room. That's how I tell my wife, toy room. Yeah, big and nerd, all these things, big as nerd I am, I do have a wife actually, and she is pretty. so so I got that going for me. And I do have one child left at home. It's my daughter, Jolene. I have 3 boys that are grown and moved out. But yeah, and also 3 grandkids, 2 grandsons and a granddaughter. And they'll probably end up with all this stuff when I'm dead and gone, I'm sure, and they can do whatever they want with it. But yeah, this was a good figure. Really liked it. She had lots of accessories, lots and lots of accessories. I can't remember if I have the regular G.I. Joe classified as Scarlet. I don't think I do, but don't hold me to that. I may not. So when I cut this trap door out here, you can kind of just cut right down the sides there, and then I just reach in here and I'll grab this. I call it the plastic coffin because I'm kind of resurrecting them. So I pull that out, and that's what you have. So, and that's how I unbox most of my ones. That's on a blister. You know, the regular G.I. Joe classified, you can just open a box and reach in and pull it out where you don't have to tear things up. But I thought that was a good way to keep your package in decent shape, but it works out for me. All right, so you just got to figure out if you want to put your hands back into the spot they go. You really got to figure out which ones were on the figure when you took it out of the box. And if I really want to get into that, I can open my own page out and fast forward to where I'm holding up the plastic coffin, and boom, I can see what the figure out of the package had on them. But yeah, this does take a while to put all these away. But you know what? I enjoy it. And especially, I guess that hair was on her. I thought this hair was off. So she does come with a second ponytail. This is the one that you put on in case you want to keep your backpack on. And it kind of floats over. So it's cool that they did that. And I guess this is the one that came on the figure. So we'll put that back. And on your G.I. Joe Classified, most of them, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but most of them come with their trigger finger hands on both sides. So that's if you are repackaging. So I had to take a fist off of her and put on a trigger finger so I can get this other fist back in. It looks like it's going to plug in right here. All right, she's got her little quivers here, and her comes with all those things right there, arrows and bows and whatnot. But yeah, I got into action figure collecting very, very late. I worked at a factory. We made plastic fittings for drainage pipe. So plastic drainage pipe, and it was very good to me. We had an ESOP program, and that worked out really well for me. So we was getting stock as we worked there, and I was there for almost 28 years. So I started when I was 20 years old, and I retired, I think, when I was 47 or 48. I can't quite remember. But, yeah, hard job, monotonous job, hot job. But if you could stick it out, man, they had a heck, it's not really a retirement plan, but a heck of a stock plan, ESOP plan. And it was very good to all of us guys that put in the time and stuck with it. I run into guys, you know, that work there, and they couldn't stick it out. And there was a lot of overtime. We worked a ton of overtime, and man, when I see them now, they really kicked themselves in the butt for not hanging in there like we did, because we didn't get paid hourly very well at all. I mean, it was competitive, but I don't think, you know what? I don't think she had this ponytail on. This is going to go somewhere. I guess it's going to maybe go in this other. I forgot about this other half here. But yeah, I'll run into those guys that, you know, that work there, and I got to know them for maybe 3 or 4, even 5 years, 6 years, and they quit. And when I see them out, they say, "Man, I kick myself in the ass every day for not sticking out," because just seeing how well it did for the rest of us, it did stick it out. And I had great management. And it was hard, and you kind of, if you worked hard, you were rewarded. They would do great things for you. You could, as long as you were, that was the main thing, be there every day. If you're there every day, which I was, I didn't miss a day in my whole career. I was asked to go home a couple times because I came in sick, and they said, "Man, you cannot be, you look like you're getting ready to die." And my plant manager said, "Go home." I said, "No, I'm good." "Nope, go home." He could tell that I was just bad shape. So that was one of the few times I missed, but I think I ended up putting in for vacation anyway, so I guess that wouldn't count. Yeah, great place to work for me. Made a lot of good friends, and like I said, it was, if you stuck it out like I did and a lot of other guys, you're rewarded. And I still have a lot of friends, and I am so proud of all my friends that stuck it out, because I'm telling you, it was rough, but it paid off. And a lot of them are, quite frankly, living really well. So I'm so happy for them, because when you're in the you know, in that hot factory, and you just, man, there was days you just did not want to be there. But these guys that I worked with, man, they were top notch guys, and I still stay in touch with a lot of them, pretty much most of them, and they're really good friends of mine. And I still even have friends that still work there that did not retire. So kudos to those guys. They're even going the extra mile, still there. All right, so that's it. Looky there. She is back in there. And I know that seemed like it took a long time, but I was chit-chatting away. And but so it normally doesn't take that long. And then her stand just kind of goes, there's this little concave right here. It just goes right there. And I'm going to get it, make sure that bottom piece is in there. Now I just take her box here and open up that trap door. You kind of got to slide it in there. Be careful not to pop anything out. Our bottom piece has popped out, so I got to, it's hitting the bottom there. Get it started and you're good. Now we got to make sure our stands in there. Slide that in. And there you go. Now there is this, when I open these, I make sure I take that off, because I can just tape that right back up. And I do have tape here, so I'm going to do that. And it'll keep it in there, because I put these in a bin and in a closet, and they are gone until I start getting stuff out November 1st or thereabouts, middle of November. But yeah, there she is, Scarlet. Back in her package. Now, if I want to display her like this, I can. You can get a plastic case, make all kinds of plastic cases and stuff for these, and And you can hang it on your wall, display it that way if you want. But me, I'm going to put her in a bin with the rest of these G.I. Joes, and they'll go away. But yeah, back to where I retired from. So yeah, the guys that's still there, kudos to those. I guess I can do a shout out to a couple of these buddies of mine I have. I'll start. I had a really good friend of mine named Chris Sutton. I think he subscribes to the channel, but man, one of my good friends, he worked doubles every day. Doubles, yes, every single day he worked 16 hours. So, and then when you got your stock that they gave you, that the company gave you, was based on how much money you made throughout the year. So the more money you made, the more stock they would give you in the ESOP program. Well, this guy was working 16-hour days, so imagine he's making a lot of money. So he's making regular time, and then anything after 40 hours was time and a half, and he would hammer on that overtime. I mean, just right with it, never complained, and he made out like a bandit. So shout out to Chris Sutton, other guys. A fellow I've got, a good friend of mine that still works here, Tim Brown. I called him my right-hand man. Whatever, I would move departments here or there, or shifts perhaps, and man, I would go get Tim Brown. I would go to my plant manager, and he'd say, how much this going to cost me, you know? And I go to Tim, say, how much you need to come to second shift? And he would tell me, and I'd go back. And my plant managers were really, really good, and they would say, done. All right, you got him. Tim Brown's yours again. So things like that. All right. Next guy I got is Cobra Eel, and same deal right here. He had a lot of accessories, really cool figure, and he even has these big flippers, and he would fall over sometimes. I just don't understand why these things can't stay up, but really cool. Look at it, got flippers, and you just want to, if I was a kid and had that thing, this thing probably wouldn't come out of the bathtub. I'd have him in a bathtub all the time. We'd be having G.I. Joe wars in there. So, yeah, I love G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe, real American hero in the 80s. I watched every Saturday. Now, yep, if you're in your late 40s, or older, into your 50s and even 60s, you remember Saturday morning cartoons, because we would get only 3 or 4 channels on our television set. I didn't even have cable until I got into high school. We always lived in the country, and they wouldn't have cable out where I lived. So yeah, 3 or 4 channels. So if you wanted to watch cartoons, which I absolutely wanted to watch cartoons, and like I mentioned, G.I. Joe was one of those Saturday morning Sunbow cartoon. Boy, I couldn't wait. Super Friends. I watched Super Friends like crazy. That was a big one. Loved it. Big Superman fan. Now, I have not seen the new Superman. I have not seen any Superman since Christopher Reeve, what was that, 1978 maybe it came out. That's the last Superman movie I saw. And the only reason I don't go see no more is because I know they're absolutely not going to live up to that. That is one of my all-time, it is my all-time favorite superhero movie by a long shot. There's nothing even close to being passing that up. But yeah, absolutely love Superman. All right, he has a mask. Now, how about that? Now, I have seen a couple action figures that had helmets that had extra heads. You would pop the whole head off and but this mask actually sits over that eel's head. Is that not awesome or what? So, really cool action figure right here. Loved it. This, of course, like I mentioned, all these are on the channel. Go back, just type in Cobra Eel, and you can watch me unbox this guy. And now you're watching me put him back in the pack. So here he doesn't have any extra hands, so I don't have to worry about what hand came on this figure. He only had his trigger fingers, like Scarlet had fists and trigger fingers. But like I mentioned, all our classified GI Joe classified figures have. I gotta figure out what did I do with that knife. Oh, there it is. Has a place for his knife. I gotta say, in all the GI Joe classified figures I've seen so far, come with trigger fingers, kind of like that, on the action figure. All right, next, I gotta get his mask in here, and I see there's two little holes in here, so I'm thinking his hoses probably go through there. And I have a lot of GI Joe classified, and I don't have very many displayed. You probably can't see it with that, but I don't know why. I need more shelving bad in my toy room here. I need shelving bad. I just don't have enough room to put all them up. But I would like to eventually, but if I put them up on a shelf, I'm afraid I won't take them down. Like I mentioned, I'll put all these away. They're all going to go in a box, and I am going to get out my horror figures. And I'll tell you what, when you get out your horror figures, or even when I take out these, when I put my horror figures away and take out my G.I. Joes and He-Man and stuff like that, man, it makes it so exciting. You almost forget some of the stuff you have. When I'm going to take out these horror figures, I'll be like, holy cow, I forgot I had this. I forgot I had this. Even the ones I unboxed, sometimes you forget. And man, it almost feels like a brand new figure, even after you've had it for 3 or 4 years. Just getting it out of that bin and getting it back up, oh, it's awesome. There we go, Cobra Eel. He is put away. And of course, I pack them away. These retros, I'll put them in a bin like that. They go into each other just like that. And you can put them in a bin. So there's 2 down, and boy, I think we're already probably 15 minutes into this video. But yeah, so back to my working days. So I retired after 27 or 28 years. I can't really remember. Here's Storm Shadow, and I believe this is the version 2 Storm Shadow. He's way back here. So, retired, and I am not a car guy. I am not a carpenter guy. I'm not a woodworker. I don't build models. I don't fly drones. I don't RC cars. I'm not a car collector. I really don't have a hobby. I mean, when I worked, that was pretty much all the time you had. Now, I did like movies. I have a lot of, I would say, compared to a lot of you out there, probably not a lot, but I have quite a bit of movies, DVDs, a lot of DVDs, a lot of Blu-rays. So I kind of like that, mostly horror. But other than that, I really didn't have any hobbies. So I started getting into YouTube, and I was watching, not making a YouTube channel, but just watching YouTube, and I came across and I guess I'll shout him out. One of the very first YouTube channels I came across was called Raymond Castile's Basement of Horrors. Now, if you're familiar with that, good for you, because it is unbelievable. Raymond is a super, super awesome guy. He's been in movies. He has this, it's Raymond Castile's Basement of Horrors, and he has a YouTube channel, and he just talks about different horror collectibles, not just action figures, lots of things. And I started watching him, and the more I watched him, the more I just, he is seasonal, so he's only in through the fall and winter months, and in the summer he don't do anymore, but he's got a lot of content in there. Every once in a while he'll have one pop up, but most of the time he is just seasonal. So I watched his channel, and he started, he would get into different action figures, And what really got me was Universal Monsters. I'm a huge Universal Monsters fan. Wolfman, Frankenstein, Dracula, Invisible Man, Creature from the Black Lagoon. List goes on and on. And whenever he would have a show about, boy, I cannot figure out how to get this to nest. There we go. I got it. He's all done. That one wasn't hard. But anyways, big Universal Monster fans, and he would have all kinds of Universal Monster stuff. He is also, so Raymond would have a new episode, and it would come out, let's see, every Saturday or Sunday. He is in his off season right now, so I can't remember. It's either Saturday or Sunday, and every day, every Saturday or Sunday, I'd get up and watch his new episode, and he goes deep dive into these whatever toy line he's talking about. I mean, deep. He talks about the years of operation and stuff like that. First action figures, and he has an amazing channel. Raymond Casteel's Basement of Horror. If you're not a subscriber to that, I highly recommend. But watching him, and I just thought, man, those are so awesome. I should get into that. And one day, I still wasn't into the action figures, but one day my mother and I were in our hometown, not really our hometown, but an adjacent town called Hamilton, Ohio. And a new toy store had just opened up, and I thought, I'm going to go into this toy store and just look around. I had not bought an action figure probably since the 90s. Maybe, yeah, I would say 90s, late 90s. I had my oldest son was born in 94, 95. I know that's awful. He's got a birthday coming up, July 23rd. Shout out to Tyler out there. But I would buy action figures for him. Now, my other kids, they did get wrestling. So I guess I did buy action figures, but none for myself since I was a little boy. And I don't even know if I bought them myself. I would get action figures for Christmas, but I had, the G.I. Joes. I had so many action figures. Now, I am struggling with this one. This is Trigger, so I might as well get Trigger out of there. And so anyways, going into this toy store in Hamilton, Ohio, my dad had passed away, and he was a big horror movie fan too. And he had passed away, and me and my mom was just walking through Hamilton and come across this toy store, went in, and sitting on the shelf was a Texas Chainsaw Massacre Leatherface figure. And I had really no plans of buying anything. I had already been watching Raymond Casteel's Basement of Horror. I was living vicariously through him, and watching him talk about these toys. And, well, I saw that on there, on that shelf, Leatherface, which I bought it. And kind of because I wanted to support a local store, but also kind of in memory of my dad. My dad loved Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and quite frankly, I do too. It's my favorite horror movie of all time, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I got that from my dad. He liked watching it, so I liked watching it, and so kind of both, supporting a local store, and then in memory of my dad, I'm going to buy this and put it on my dresser at the house. And, man, I got sucked in. So it was a while before I bought a second one. But watching Raymond Castile, I learned that NECA was going to be releasing the Universal Monsters. So I was like, oh boy, I'm going to have to get these NECA Universal Monster figures. This is going to be awesome. And again, my dad's super big Universal Monsters fan also. Yeah, that was his favorite franchise. It's my favorite. I guess I shouldn't call it a franchise because it's not really a franchise. It's more of a studio, but I absolutely love it. All of them. Any and all of them. The Abbott Costellos, all of them. I love them. So I started getting those as they was released. They wasn't released all at once, so I was getting these Universal Monsters, and then so I was strictly horror collector only. I wasn't a I was not a golly. I'm having trouble with this guy. A YouTuber yet. I was still just a collector, and I ended up, after all these Universal Monsters, started buying. I found out NECA made Friday the 13th, Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street, Pinhead from Hellraiser. Found out NECA made, I was like, oh my gosh, I had no idea these even existed, and they looked so good. So I got into those, and then I just started branching into other things. And I was exclusive to horror collector. I was not into G.I. Joe. I was not into He-Man. I was strictly horror. So, and I was not a YouTuber yet. I was still just collecting and displaying in my house. My wife, during Halloween, she would let me put my collection out on the shelf in the living room. People would come over and, oh, these are awesome, check them out. Oh, I guess I should. Here's this Trigger figure, and he has a trap door on the bottom as well. Now, this is Action Force from the Valaverse. So, same way, made a trap door here, and just slide my figure in. There we go. Now, these were all tied in as well. A lot of things were tied in, but obviously you can't retie them in, so that's it. That's going to be it for Trigger. And you may have some, I have this piece right here floating around in there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I don't care. I don't care. I'm going to sit that there. So, yeah, exclusive horror collector only, not a YouTuber. And, well, then I stumbled upon another channel, another YouTube channel. So I was watching Raymond Castile. Well, I come across Kyle Peterson. And if you're watching this channel, you probably already know who Kyle Peterson is. He's got a huge YouTube channel, so shout out to Kyle out there. But he had a YouTube channel, and he's opening all kinds of things. He's opening horror. He's opening DC Comics. He's opening Marvel. He's opening a lot of wrestling. He even, while I was a subscriber to his channel, he even started a Kyle Peterson 2.0. He keeps most of his wrestling on Kyle Peterson. He started Kyle Peterson 2.0 and was kind of trying to keep Kyle Peterson wrestling, and then the other one, everything else. All action figure wise though. So I started watching him, and big wrestling fan. Huge wrestling fan when I was a kid. Now I still watch wrestling here and there, but they just don't do it for me. I'm not a big fan of it, but man, in the 80s, in the late 70s and early 80s, humongous. And I still watch those old matches. But Hulk Hogan was my all-time favorite. I was a Hulkamaniac from the get-go. I can remember when he was a bad guy. Now, who do I have here? Here's Beachhead. Now I'm going to get sidetracked here, man. I got to find this Beachhead. Where are you at? There he is. So, wrestling. So, I'm watching Kyle Peterson, and he unboxed. Now, I will go back to Raymond Castile does not unbox. He is an in-box collector. But when he deep dives, I'm talking, he'll have a 2.5-hour episode. And just so, he's so smart about these companies, and he does his research and knows everything about it. Even masks, like the mask that you put on your face, just does such a good job with it. But anyways, he was an inbox collector. So when I got to Kyle Peterson, he was unboxing on his YouTube channel, and awesome stuff, especially the wrestlers. So I watched him and was really still exclusive collector to horror. But when I'm watching Kyle Peterson opening all these wrestlers, I was like, oh, them look awesome. So I started buying wrestling figures myself. And I thought, you know what? I should just unbox mine. One, just for something to do. Like I said, I'm retired and I don't collect anything. I have no hobbies. I was just going, eating is my hobby, cooking, and I like that, but really no other hobbies to speak of to spend my money on and my time on. So with watching Kyle Peterson, I said, I'm going to do this. And on Raymond's, he said he did his because he liked keeping inventory of all his collection. Because like me, he has such a collection that he can't display them all. He has to box them up. But if you box them up, sometimes you forget what you have. So you can start a YouTube channel and kind of keep inventory that way and unbox it and get viewers, and maybe your channel will grow, maybe it won't, but everything's going to be documented and it's going to be saved on YouTube. So I said, I'm going to do that. I'm going to unbox figures, and I did it. I just started doing it, and here I am. I think I am about 2 years in, a year and a half, 2 years collecting. Well, not collecting, but 2 years as a YouTuber. So I started the YouTube channel, and I have such a great time with it. Met a lot of people through the collection, including Kyle and Raymond Castile. I have never met him in person, but through YouTube, and you leave comments, and so I said I'm going to do this. I'm going to start a YouTube channel like Kyle Peterson, like Raymond Castile. So here I am, and I'm still buying and collecting action figures. Now, so shout out to those guys, Kyle Peterson and Raymond Castile, probably the two biggest influences in my collecting endeavor, I guess you'd call it. There's Beachhead, and there's a stand. Now, I have tons of stands. But anyways, so those two guys, huge influence on me. And you can probably tell my channel is kind of, I'm trying not to copy off of Kyle, but I'm set up a lot different than he is, but it's still, a lot of people do close-ups with just their hands, or put the camera on their, head or behind them, and you just see their hands. I didn't know if I wanted to be on camera or not, but since the first time I did, I was like, oh, I can do this. This isn't that bad. So that's what I started doing. So kind of copying off of Kyle Peterson, but those are my two big influences were Kyle Peterson and Raymond Castile. I know I've said that a ton of times, but check out their channels. Such good channels. All right, I have Sergeant Slaughter right here from the Valaverse Action Force. Very good figure here. But those two guys pretty much got me started. Now, I will say, I'm sure it happens to all the YouTubers, any YouTuber out there. Sometimes, when you're not getting views and you're not getting subscribers, you kind of get a little frustrated, and maybe you want to hang it up. Maybe you want to quit. Kyle Peterson, watching him, how he does it, I don't know. He has a full-time job, and he does 3 or 4 videos a day. I don't know how he does it. He is unbelievable. But anyways, I can't do that. And I only work part-time. But, so like I was saying, there are times where, man, you just don't want to do it anymore. You know, it's just not, you feel like nobody's watching. You may feel like it's a waste of time. And you go into these lulls that you just, it's just not going well. So it's happened to me. I'm sure it's happened to almost all YouTubers out there. I'm not going to say every single one of them, but if it didn't, you're doing good. But it's crossed my mind a time or two, not a lot, about just quitting and doing something else, getting out of YouTube altogether. So, but what stopped me from doing that, not stopped me, but what helped me to keep going was some other YouTubers that I've met along the way, some unbelievable people. They comment on your channel, they're watching, and I watch their channels in return, and just awesome guys out here. And these, I guess I can go through a couple of these other guys. One is Ecto Eric, unbelievable channel, loved his. And there are times, like I said, I thought about quitting, and I wouldn't post anything, and he would just comment on an older video, hey, where you at? And I'm like, well, if Eric's gonna watch, if Ecto Eric's gonna watch, I'm gonna make another video. And he would, and then all of a sudden, you know, you go back on your channel and you got, you know, 10 more subscribers over the weekend. They're like, well, crap, I guess I'm still in it then. So Ecto Eric Class 5 collection, check out his channel. He does an amazing job, but he is a guy that keeps me going. He is one of the main reasons I get on and I see his videos, and they just inspire me to want to keep going. So shout out to you, Ecto Eric, man. I appreciate your channel so much, and you bring life to this channel with your comments and stuff, and just absolutely love your channel. And thank you for being a friend, and whether you know it or not, an inspiration. Oh boy, having trouble with Sergeant Slaughter's hands. So yeah, Ecto Eric. And there are others. There are a lot of others. Oh, I forgot something here. So this one, you could put them away just like that, but they also give you this, a cover to put on top of it. And it has this plastic. I could probably pull that off, but I'm a weirdo, and I like to keep everything the way it was when I got it. So I put this plastic film back on top of it. But yeah, there are even other channels that inspire me and keep me going, guys, along the way. Let's see, who we got next? This may be blocking that view. I'll set them right there. Trying to find another empty box in here. But other channels that I watch, there's stuff that also inspire me. Another one is Derek's Wrestling Toys and Tees. Awesome channel, awesome guy, kind of just getting going. Derek's Wrestling Toys and Tees. Awesome channel. I like it. Super friendly guy, and comments all the time on my channel as well. So I like to comment back on his, but he's another guy that really inspires me to keep going, because I won't make a video and then I'll see Derek putting on 3 or 4 videos, and I'm like, these guys are, you know, I'm going to do it. I'm going to keep doing it. So shout out to Derek's Wrestling Toys and Tees out there. You are an inspiration, and I love your channel. So yeah, a lot of channels, and there's so many more. Fig Heel, I love watching Fig Heel. He does an amazing job. All wrestling, good stuff. My Damn Toys, I watch him exclusively wrestling figures. So that's another one. So check out all these channels I'm mentioning. Let's see, who did I get out here? This is Snake Eyes Retro. Where is Snake Eyes? He's way back here. So I'm going to find somebody else. Ah, here. Cobra Commander. This was a great figure right here, Cobra Commander. I just had to get a Cobra Commander. I actually have two of him, one that I'm not going to unbox because he's such an icon, one of the greatest villains of all time. But yeah, these other YouTube channels, man, check them out. And then not only do these guys inspire me, these other YouTube channels and creators, content creators, but also just subscribers out there. I have a lot of loyal subscribers that comment every video I make, and it's so awesome. I almost feel like I know. I mean, some of them are other YouTubers like Ecto Eric. We comment on each other's videos probably daily, and but there are some that don't have channels that they're just subscribers, and a couple of those guys are Daniel Santana. This guy, he comments on almost every single video I make, and he was one of my very first subscribers. I'm not sure if he was my very first subscriber, but he's been right there through thick and thin. So shout out to you, Daniel Santana. This guy, he has a heck of a, and he needs to, Daniel Santana, you need to start a YouTube channel because you got awesome stuff. He just likes to, he'll comment and say that he just got this action figure. I got this WWE magazine. He gets the old magazines, goes out and collects those. Video games, old wrestling video games, but and other figures. And man, Daniel Santana, you need to start a YouTube channel because you have some amazing stuff. And the only reason I know is because you comment on my page telling me what you bought for the week, and I love hearing about that. It's amazing. And every time you talk about one of those WWE magazines, I subscribe to WWE magazine. My mama and papa, that was one of my Christmas presents from them every year was WWE magazine. So when you say, Daniel will leave a comment saying, I got this, I got Hacksaw Jim Duggan on the cover, and I see it vividly in my mind. Now, I got rid of all my magazines. I kicked myself in the butt that I did. I wish I still had all my WWE magazines because I was a subscriber, I'm pretty sure, day one when they first started publishing that magazine, all the way probably to 1995 or 6. I was my mama and papa would just renew that subscription every Christmas for me, and so Daniel, I want to see these things. You really need to start a YouTube channel. I'm no pressure. I don't want to pressure you, but I would love to see these magazines that you have. So yeah, even there's subscribers that inspire me to keep going. They comment, and it passes time, and it lets me know different people, get to know different people, and some of these guys like Daniel Santana, like Ecto Eric, like Derek's Wrestling Toys and Tees. I feel like I know these guys personally, even though I don't. But just great guys, and the toy, I don't know what we call it, the action figure community is unbelievable. I haven't had anybody really, maybe one or two, say my channel sucks, and that's okay. That's okay. Everybody has the right to say what they want to. I don't mind. But for the most part, everybody is very, very supportive, and it's, to me, I love it. I love it, being in this action figure community. But yeah, I just wanted to go over some stuff with you, show you how I pack away some stuff. Maybe I'll do another video packing away all my superstars, which they're not on camera. or my He-Man, but pretty much it's the same way. Got the trap door, pull out the tray, pop the tray back in, put, with the action figure. But I guess that's going to be it. I guess I have some notes here because I want to shout out some of these guys. I talked about Ecto Eric, of course, Kyle Peterson, Derek's Wrestling Toys and Tees, Fig Heel, Raymond Castile's Basement of Horror, My Damn Toys. Another one was Toy Box Nostalgia with Douglas. He has a great channel. Man, this guy's got an eye. He does some photography. And at the end of every unboxing that he does, a review he does, he does a photography session, and man, it's awesome. So you make sure you watch all the way to the end because he has got an eye for photography. But yeah, and then some of my subscribers, Ultraman TSH, I think it's just Ultraman or Ultraman TSH. You know who you are. You comment all the time too. Awesome subscriber out there. Brian, Cat in the Van. You know you. Wrestling in the Van. Yep. Awesome. I love Brian. Wrestling Daily Vlog WDV. Great subscriber there. Tim Fahey, great subscriber. Hot Rod, so many. I think I'm up to over 800 subscribers now. And I never really thought I'd get there. When I got 100 subscribers, I was super stoked. I would see people out, and I'd say, I got a YouTube channel. I just unboxed action figures. Well, how many subscribers you got? 6. I can remember when I had 6, 7, 8, and a lot of them were those guys I mentioned right out of the chute. But yeah, so awesome community. Action figure community is great. But wanted to shout out some of those guys, show you how I repackage some of my figures. But I guess that's it. And also the guys that influenced me and what I'm up to, how I got in the situation. So if anybody ever want to know how I haven't been in long. I got a lot of action figures. My wife doesn't complain. She lets me do it. And like I mentioned, I do have a podcast now. Check that out. Never Not Horror. Have a great time with that. I think we got 420 downloads so far on that. It don't show just total listens. Now it is just it's a podcast. It is audio only. Spotify, Audible, Apple Music, Amazon Music, and a lot of other of the platforms that you listen to your podcast. But yeah, give us a listen. We have a good time. It's fun. I think we're getting better and better. But I guess that's going to be it. So I'm going to continue with this, and maybe I'll just leave the camera rolling, and maybe I'll just keep on talking too. I don't know. But if the tape runs out or my battery runs out on my camera, I love you all out there. Thank you all so much for everything you do for me and for watching and following and subscribing and commenting. You guys are awesome. And you don't know how uplifting it is until you get people commenting. But yeah, I'm just going to continue with this, and you guys can ride along if you want. I'm not displaying very good, in my opinion. My room is cluttered. I do have a lot of boxes all over. Maybe one day when I get this all cleaned up, and I'm starting to get shelves put on the walls. So it's kind of such a mess. It's kind of embarrassing that I don't want to. It's such a mess. I don't want to put it on tape, but I have a lot of figures. So here I'm putting away Lady J, G.I. Joe Classified Retro. Now she was one of the first ones. She was in that wave 1 where the card back was super thin, and that really stunk. I hated that. See how thin that card. Now they thickened them up. Here's the Beachhead is really thick. I mean, that's awesome. So they listened to their fans. Hasbro did. All right, backpack here. Yeah, so displaying, I'm not good at it yet. I wish I was more better at displaying. My little background I got here, I think it's just pretty much a mess. I got different size shelves. I have a bookcase right here. It probably needs lifted up because it's got a bottom shelf that you can't even see on camera. But yeah, as you can see, just all different size shelves. So not a great setup in my opinion, but it's my setup and it'll work for now. And if you're ever this, I guess I should talk about this too. If you're ever uh, want to start a YouTube channel but you don't know how, just do it. Just do it. I started using my GoPro. Then my GoPro broke, so then I went to my iPhone or my Android phone. I just got a stand for it and put it up. And my early videos, I was doing it in my kitchen. I was set up in the kitchen, but we have kind of our living area and kitchen is separated by only a bar, so it's a open area. So you kind of the camera was kind of looking into my living room, and that was a pain in the butt. But I had all my kids were home except my oldest son, so I had 3 kids at home, and this toy room was my 2 oldest middle sons' bedroom. So I really didn't even have a place to put my action figures. I put them in a shed out in the backyard. Now I have a closet. This is a closet right here behind these superstars. So all my horror stuff is in that closet right now. So I have to get all that horror stuff out and put all these G.I. Joes and He-Man and stuff in the closet. And hopefully I want to fix this display back here a little bit, but I don't know. I don't know if I will or not. Next, I have Duke. But yeah, so I'm get rambling and I changed subjects. Sorry about that. But anyways, so that's what I did. I made those in my living room with a GoPro or my Android phone, and so my suggestion is just do it. Just do it. Just set up your camera. Get your action figure or your fishing lures or your camping stuff or your books or your physical media movies or whatever and start your YouTube channel. I'm telling you, it's fun. It's not hard. It can get expensive, but it doesn't have to. If you're not buying action figures or whatever, if you could have stuff already that you own that you want to share, like Daniel Santana. I'm telling you, that guy could have a hell of a YouTube channel. But yeah, just do it. Just do it. And if you feel foolish talking to a camera with nobody there, who cares? Who cares? You don't even have to post it, you know. If you decide, that's not good, scrap it. But I suggest don't scrap it. I suggest put it on there. Because everybody's got something to say. You know, we all have something to say. And we all deserve to be heard. If we want to talk about something, just get on and ramble. Ramble about life. Ramble about whatever, football. I know guys with, I follow a lot of Browns channels, you know, that's not costing them nothing other than like if they have giveaways or if they travel to the game. I mean, that'll cost money, but a lot of them, they just talk Cleveland Browns football or something like that. And I love following those channels. Let's see. I think I've got everything of Duke here. So we'll put Duke back in. Duke, I will say, I mentioned Kyle Peterson. So Duke happens to be Kyle Peterson's favorite G.I. Joe. So check him out. I'm just kidding. He hates Duke. He's a Flint guy. He is a Flint guy. And to be honest, I'm a Flint guy too. But I just thought I'd rib Kyle there a little bit because he does not like Duke at all. He likes Flint. He likes the guys leading from the front line. So where was I? Yeah, just do it. Just do it. Just put that. Start your YouTube channel. Makeup tutorials, hairstyling. There's plenty of stuff to talk about. And trust me, there's going to be people interested in it. This was one of my favorite action figures. I was a big Gung Ho guy. He was probably my favorite GI Joe. Was Spirit, Gung Ho. Who else did I like that I don't? Shipwreck, Spirit, Gung Ho. Yeah, those are my favorite. We would play GI Joe back in the woods. First thing you do when you get I have woods behind my house. When we was kids, first thing you do is you go find a stick to be your gun, and then you choose who you're going to be. And if you get first pick, you get to pick. You can be Shipwreck, or you could be Gung Ho, or you could be Spirit. But your other buddies, we would rotate who got first pick, because a lot of people wanted to be Gung Ho because he was just a badass on GI Joe. And I like being Spirit. I like being who else did I want to be? Spirit, Gung Ho, Junkyard, Mutt and Junkyard. Roadblock. Roadblock was a big one. We all wanted to be Roadblock because he was just a big old chef and got to carry the big gun. So if you was Roadblock or Gung Ho, you had to find a big stick. You couldn't use a little round stick like Spirit or Shipwreck had. You had to get a big branch almost and chug at through the woods, because that's what they had on the cartoon. But yeah, loved GI Joe when I was a kid. This was a really good figure too. This was the Cobra Trooper, and I'm still blown away by the articulation on this guy. The neck movement is crazy on him. He can almost look straight up, and that's what I want my wrestling figures to do. If you watch the channel enough and me unbox WWE Mattel figures, it kills me that their heads can't look up. I mean, if you're going to pose your Undertaker figure, pinning a guy, he always would cross their arms. He would whip that hair back and look up. Or wrestling figures, you can't pose him doing that, and it really stinks. I mean, he does have long hair, but hell, I wouldn't even mind if you put a hinge in the hair back here so he still can look up. Hinge on the neck and hinge on the hair. So I don't know if anybody from Hasbro or Mattel, I'm sorry, anybody from Mattel listening, put a hinge in the hair. Not everybody has long hair. Might look stupid, but hell, your ankles looked awful for 10 years. But they have updated the ankles. The ankles are awesome now. The WWE Mattel wrestling ankles, they look good, but man, they were awful looking. So, I know I'm all over the place. Absolutely all over the place here talking. But yeah, start that YouTube channel, guys. Just do it. Just do it. It's fun. It is fun, and just getting to know different people. It's a blast. I better take his knife out. I left his knife in his holster, and it's getting all bent up. So we'll take this knife out so it don't break. There is a spot for it in this tray. I left his gun in his holster. There's a spot for his gun right here, but it stays in his holster and he goes into his tray, so I'm going to leave it. Get this knife in here. This knife has tape over its spot, so not a lot of companies use tape anymore, which is awesome. They just make it so that your stuff can't fall out. And this knife wouldn't have fallen out because I can't even hardly get it in there. And I don't think it needed the tape on there, but I guess I'll put it back. Get a stand. Yeah, get that YouTube channel fired up, man. I want to see it. I want to watch it. I want to subscribe. I want to comment. Some of you guys out there, especially some of my subscribers that talk about the action figures they have. Awesome stuff. Ultraman. I know you have a lot. Ultraman TSH or Ultra Mensch. I'm sorry. I tell me what you want me to call you, because I call it Ultraman. But you have a hell of a collection. Hell of a collection. Just by what you tell me, I would love to see you guys start YouTube channels. And even if you don't talk in the channel, it's just inventory your stuff. I would love to see it. All right, I'm getting to the end of these guys. Here is Gung Ho, so I'll get him put away. So what do you think? Is this anything you would ever do? Keep your packaging, cut that little trap door at the bottom of that blister. Is that anything you would do, or are you just going to go spend the extra money or not unbox it? Because I like doing it this way. And I think I like opening my action figures. I think it's fun. Now, like I said, I do double up club with the superstars. I love the 80s wrestling, 70s and 80s wrestling so much that I really wanted to buy 2 of every one of them. And you can find, it's hard finding some. Well, my battery just ran out on my camera, so I put it on a charger. So I didn't think I would be talking this much, but I don't mind talking. I like talking. I like talking to all you guys, but yeah, is this something you would do? Is this something you do? What do you do? Do you repackage? Do you just throw these away? Do you throw this box away? I just can't bring myself to do it. Even this is the funny thing. Even these WWE superstars. So I'm a member of the Double Up Club. These have not been opened. They don't have a trap door in any of them. So, but I do, the ones I unbox, I still keep that packaging, and I am going to rebox them. I'm going to rebox them for the spooky season. It sounds silly, I know, but it helps me keep track of everything, and I just love this packaging. It looks so good, and I know I have one already where I keep the packaging, but I can't help it. I just can't help it. All right, who do we have next? We have Snake Eyes. Something else I've been mulling over is besides getting shelves in my room here, I've been thinking about making a second filming location. So I am in my back corner of my room. Like I said, this kind of comes out, and this is a closet. I have a closet door just out of camera's view, and I'm kind of in this cubby hole, and I do like it, but I was thinking about starting another like filming location in the room, another studio location, and one of the other corners, and having 2 where I can just move the camera and shoot over there, shoot over here, depending on where I feel like shooting. But I have some work I need to do. I need to buy more shelves, but I've been mulling that over. I've oftentimes been mulling over starting another YouTube channel, believe it or not. I don't even know what, but something not related at all to action figures, but maybe movie reviews or horror movies. Now, I like I said, I do have a podcast, an audio podcast with my good friend Steve Clark, but it's not video, and I've thought about doing just one where I talk about movies, and I can rank them and rate them. I don't want to take away anything from our podcast, but I thought about that. Wrestling, music. I love music. That's one thing I guess I didn't mention yet. Big music fan, and mostly classic country. I can give you a list of my favorite artists of all time. That's it. I know I have more down here. But that's all I have in this box. I do have one more, but I still have her in the package. And that's the Baroness. So I'm going to pack them all in this box right here, see if I can get them all in there. They should all fit. But anyways, yeah, huge music fan. Now, I don't know how to do, I see a lot of people, I watch a lot of YouTube channels pertaining with music, and I see a lot of guys with headaches, like because they're getting flagged for copyright stuff. And I'm not sure how that works. I think you can play like 10 seconds of a song before they copyright you, but I'm not sure how that works. But I could totally see me doing a music podcast where I talk about something else besides horror figures and Universal. I am passionate about my classic country. I love it. Not just classic country. I'm into some modern country too, but nothing that you hear on like Morgan Wallen. I don't like Morgan Wallen at all. Not a fan. He does nothing for me. The music, the lyrics don't do anything for me. It's not a big fan of his. And most Chris Stapleton, I really don't care about Chris Stapleton. But let me run down my favorites of all time. All-time favorite is Willie Nelson. I think he is an absolute, just one of the greatest human beings on earth, and one of the greatest guitar players of all time. One of the greatest songwriters of all time. I'm not going to say he's one of the greatest singers of all time, but to me, he's a damn good singer, and that's all that matters, how it makes you feel. But I absolutely love Willie. Now, matter of fact, my middle son, I wanted to name Willie, and my mom said no. My wife said no, we can't name him Willie. I don't want to do that. What about William? You'll call him Willie. And I said, I know, I'd call him Willie. So we called him Waylon, who is my second favorite singer. Waylon Jennings, second favorite singer of all time. He's probably my favorite vocalist of all time, too, because he does have a good voice. I know I say I love Willie Nelson's voice. That's it. I got them all put away in there. And look, I've got room for one more in this box. And I think I can get him in there without crushing his. So check it out. That fits in there perfect. I got room for one more retro. And that thing will shut up just like that. So good for me. I did a good job, I guess. But I do have these. These are going to have to find a home. But yeah, Waylon Jennings, love him. Merle Haggard, probably my third favorite singer of all time, and probably my second favorite vocalist of all time is Merle Haggard. I love Ray Price. He is right up there with one of the greatest vocalists of all time. Love Ray Price. Eddie Arnold, love Eddie Arnold. I love David Allan Coe, some great songwriter there. Look what I found. I'm pondering my favorite singers of all time, and on the ground, I found a pair of sunglasses for somebody, and it may be Sergeant Slaughter's, because I think this is Bret Hart's, actually. I think this is a pair of Bret Hart's. I do not have, I know he had glasses, and I don't see them on the shelf, see them on the floor, so I think I'll give these to Sergeant Slaughter. But I don't think they're his. I think he had some silver lens glasses. These are black. I think these are, like I said, I think these might be Bret Hart's, but I don't care. I'm gonna put it on him anyways. And when I do find them glasses, yeah, that's definitely not his glasses, but they're on him anyways. So yeah, country music, classic country music, absolutely love. Now I do like some more modern guys. I really like Colder Wall. You probably see me wear a Colder Wall shirt in some of my unboxings. Big fan of Colder Wall. So, yeah, there is some guys out there, but they're more guys that you're probably not going to hear them on the radio. They're, a lot of people say, too country for country. And Colter Wall is probably too country for country. He's probably between a folk and country, but big fan of Colter Wall. I met him twice. Very nice guy. Charlie Crockett's another guy. Great artist. He's kind of current. Like him a lot. I've got a couple of autographed albums by him. But, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to wrap this video up. I know I kind of did a ending earlier, but I guess I'll do another one. Love you all out there. Thank you so much for watching. Listen to the podcast, me and Steve. And I guess until next time, oh, yeah.